What's up, everyone? It's Friday, and it's SHIRO Show. I'm Saturn Dave, and I've got...
I'm Patrick.
Patrick! Okay, we'll go with Patrick today.
Do I keep going back and forth between the
It's
names
totally
again?
fine, man. I like both.
You said Dave, right?
I said Saturn Dave, but I'm Dave.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Yeah,
Trainico.
Patrick,
Okay,
Dave,
yeah.
Saturn Dave, Trainico.
We'll figure out the names eventually. One of these streams we'll be able to streamline it and get the names down.
I'm just giving you a hard time, bro. Let me see here. I am gonna maybe take your video and boost your brightness. Well, maybe I shouldn't mess with it, actually.
I look kind of dark.
Yeah, you do.
Shadows.
You do. Okay, well, wait.
Shadows of Dave.
No. I can actually fix it in post. Like I can fix it in the color correction. So let's do that. Is that better? Maybe a little bit contrast.
I look angelic now. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I look better.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool.
I'm looking kind of angelic. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, so we're both using green screens, and every week, from week to week, the lighting situation changes. Especially if we have like any kind of windows open, or if it just I don't know, our camera is getting a different exposure and stuff. So it's like
more lights. I need to have the lights shine on me.
I mean, even you've got better stuff than I do, to be honest with you. I'm using like a desktop lamp. I'm using like some overhead fluorescent lamps, and I'm just like using what I have, you know. So I'm doing it on the cheap, but it works. Yeah.
I'll get another light in here. I'll get another light shining on me.
Yeah. But how have you been? How have you been this last week? I haven't talked to Pat at all this whole week because I've just
been on vacation. I've been really busy. That's
right.
A wedding. I've been going to a lot of bachelor party. It's been like a bachelor week.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're doing lots of hangouts and stuff, doing a lot of partying and stuff. Been on vacation, so I've kind of not been very, very busy with very active with SHIRO recently, and in the chats if you guys can notice. But
you did warn us last week, so I kind of knew you would be.
Yeah, so it's been going pretty well though, getting nicely refreshed. Went to the wedding last night. That was kind of fun. Yeah. So I had a nice suit. I was thinking of going on stream with it, but I thought it was a little bit too much.
You did share some exciting news today. Do you want to tell folks that, or is that still a secret?
No. I mean, it's not a secret. I still want to tell people.
Cool. All right. Well,
not tell them anyways.
You'll tell them anyway.
Anyways, yeah. So I recently for those of you that don't know, not the last 2 years, 17 and 18, I went to E3. One is myself, and then 18 as SHIRO. But I could never get any media passes. But this year I applied for media, and I got in. So SHIRO is officially part of E3 as media.
As media, podcast, right?
Yeah, podcast media. So it's been pretty good.
That's gonna be awesome.
Hopefully we can do it when it's in person. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is a good foot in the door, you know, doing it virtually, and then who knows, you know, we at least have that on our resume, or we will, you know, have that on our resume. So that'll be awesome.
So I'm probably gonna be busy. Yeah, so I'm gonna be pretty busy that week of. So
yes,
it's gonna be a busy week. But how about you, Dave? What have you been up to?
Well, let me think. I got a new game pickup, which is really rare because I have not picked up new games in a while. Like, I kind of stopped collecting for a while because I just kind of had a lot and not enough places to put them. And but like, I've been thinking, like, I really want a bowling game on the Saturn. And there was one released, albeit only in the US, and it was ASC Games, ASC published, 10-Pin Alley, which was also released on the PlayStation. So this would be a port. And it was developed by Adrenaline Entertainment, if folks are familiar with that name, from the recently dumped Colliders. Colliders was I think it got dumped a couple years ago, and it was kind of like this weird, kind of unfinished futuristic hockey game where you're like these little robots that are, you know, shooting a puck around. And that was the only other Saturn game that I know of that they worked on. There were some other ones in the plans, but anyway, I picked up this game. I didn't have high expectations for it. I was just like, I kind of want to get a bowling game on the Saturn, and this one looks kind of cool. It turns out to be actually a lot of fun, you know. And I was actually thinking it might be fun to show you guys some cool stuff, because I think it's a game that's worth the $20 that I spent on it. So, and considering it was like
a lot of bowling games on the Saturn.
There are not that I'm aware of. There's only one that's a Japanese exclusive, and then there's this one that's like a US exclusive. So go figure. And if anybody, yeah, so it would be a boring podcast if we just did bowling games, but maybe we could sometime do like a parlor games, you know, with that, which has like billiards, bowling, maybe some card games, you know, throw in some haunted casino there for a nice red label, right?
Get our red label games.
Get our podcast pulled. No, but you know, that might be fun. Yeah, no, so I picked that up, and then I also picked up another magazine to add to the collection, and that was cool. But other than that, no, I've just been playing catch up after coming back from vacation. Lots of stuff that I have to get done, and I was kind of panicked today because I was just literally burning the candle at both ends to get everything done. That said, another reason to play Minnesota Fats, Nick says, and actually, yes, Nick did a video on that, right? And it was awesome. I'm pretty sure that's like the video that I go to for that. I don't have a copy of Minnesota Fats, but his video made me want to get one. And I've been watching a copy on eBay, but it tends to go for like $40, and Nick will have to tell me if it's worth $40. I'm kind of hoping that I can find one for like 30, and then I think I'll go for it. But
Isn't it weird that like games like that are like a minimum $40, and that's the cheap ones?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there are some games that are even cheaper, but they're really like scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of quality. Like, I think Minnesota Fats is actually a pretty decent pool game, and it's got some of that like cheesy FMV in it that people like for like the B-movie aesthetic. So because of the low print run combined with the fact that it's like one of the only billiards games on the Saturn that I know of, I think that it tends to command that kind of price, whereas there are still games out there that are like $20 games, and maybe less for like a US long box. But let's see, he says it plays fine, it's just not incredible, and that's the thing, is it's like I don't think it's like a $40 game, so I'm hoping to pick up a copy dirt cheap that's in relatively good condition, because I do think that it's something I'd like to pick up. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. What cool. Did you have any other news, or just want to get right into the news?
Let's get right into the news. I think I'm good on updates for now.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, not much else to report other than that, but I'm super stoked that you got that email from E3, so I'm excited to see what comes of that.
So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do with that. Maybe do some like live streams, like live stream the press events.
Yeah.
Like with commentary and stuff.
Yeah. We just found out today, though, but we can talk about it. I mean, let me know if you need any help. But your SHIRO bros will be at your side at the ready, you know, if you need any kind of support or help with that. But definitely glad that you're representing.
Yeah, most of the events I'm going to be focusing on just Sega stuff. So I'll probably take a look at what they're going to do for the Shin Megami stuff. Now they just released Nocturne, but I know they're coming out with a new Shin Megami game. So yeah, probably a lot of Sega and Atlas stuff. So once that news drops on all the press conferences, I'll put a focus on that and either write some articles up or have you guys help me out with some articles or figure something out. But I would like to do the press conferences like stream together, like if we can sync a time up and just take a little break and just like all get in chat and just talk about it.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, so first up, we only really have 4 articles to talk about, but there are some other little bits of news that we can discuss after this. First up is Daniel, our most recent addition to the editorial staff. Daniel Thomas MacInnes, his second
ATM.
part 2 of 4 of his Saturn 3D showcase was dropped. And of course, again, this is a really long, I will just scroll it here so you guys can see. This is a really long article. So it's definitely maybe not one sitting, but I mean, the cool thing is he broke it down for you in little bite-sized chunks, writing, you know, like a 1-paragraph blurb about each one of these games. International victory goal. Of course, Jeff Minter's Tempest 2000, awesome game. Plays awesome on the Saturn. I think most folks, you know, will talk about it on the Jaguar because it does happen to be like one of the good games on the Jaguar, which there are not many. I'm sorry I said it, but you know, like there are not that many great games.
You don't like the Pitfall game on there? That's
Pitfall.
only average.
Yeah, or Cybermorph.
You don't like
You know,
Sevenworth? Where'd you learn to fly?
truth be told, I can't say much because I'm a 3DO fan, and I know that it's like that close from being, you know, like people have a hard time disambiguating that with Jaguar when they like get ready to like chuck consoles into the trash bin.
Well, here's the thing: the 3DO actually had publishers that actually supported it. I mean,
Yeah.
you had Konami put on Police Knots. You had Capcom put like the Street Fighter game on there, which is one of the best ones.
This is true.
Where did Jaguar have like friggin' some of the worst fighters of all time?
But being the hardware nerd that I am, like I definitely can't lie and say that I haven't wanted a Jaguar. I would love to get a Jaguar and that little toilet seat CD add-on, you know, but truth be told, it's a little out of my price range now when it comes to, I mean, like, yeah, I could blow a bunch of money on it, but then, you know, I wouldn't have money for Saturn games and stuff. So anyway, I'll just leave that to Andrew Rosa, Mastercast TV. I'll just let him, I'll live vicariously through him, and he can be like the Jaguar guy, and I'll just watch his videos, you know, and kind of be jealous every once in a while.
Flex.
Yeah, he can have that flex. Every once in a while, though, he'll drop a video where I'll just be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm glad that I don't have a Jaguar. Man. But as far as this article goes, you know, he's got some Panzer Dragoon on here, Virtua Fighter 2. No graphics comparison or no graphics article would be complete without mentioning Virtua Fighter 2, because it really did, not only was a good looking game, but it really was the game that caused the industry to shut up a little bit and like give the Saturn a little bit of respect, like, and maybe a second look in terms of like, okay, this system actually can do some really cool stuff in the right hands, you know. I've been reading some magazines.
Jaguar.
Oh no! Yeah, I'm kind of scrolling and moving on in this article. We're not on Jaguar anymore.
Somebody's making fun of you for saying Jaguar. It's Jaguar.
Jaguar.
The
British
way to say it.
Jaguar. Jaguar. I don't care. Honestly, I don't know. Jag. Let's just call it a Jag. Tom Charnock. You could argue with him about what you call it. No, but let's see. Virtua Fighter 2, great game. Recently we got the Virtua Fighter 5 reboot going on, so that's really big. I'm like seeing like nothing but Virtua Fighter 5 stuff lately, just because I'm a Sega fan and it's just coming up on my feed, you know. So
yeah, well, it just dropped recently too, so
exactly, so it is hot news. Yeah, and they got that retro mode, which I really like. So you got some Virtual Cop here, of course, another great port and a great good graphics for the time, of course. Like, you know,
it actually still looks really good though.
It still looks really good. You know, somebody actually commented, I'm gonna go ahead and blast them. Not really blast them, but just put their comment on blast. It says, you honestly don't see how Knights could run on the N64? Are you serious? And you're seriously impressed with International Victory Goal? Are you for real? You know, there's nothing wrong with honest comments. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Truth is, a lot of these games that we're talking about here, we're talking about in the context of 96, you know, or 97. And let's be honest, like if you go ahead and pop in Jet Moto, you put Jet Moto into a PlayStation, fire that up, it's a mess of polygons on screen. It's not as good as you remember it. Maybe Jet Moto 2 cleaned up a bit, you know, and it's true, you know, because of the way that Saturn renders 3D, some games, some ports, got more love and care on PlayStation, and they look a little cleaner. Like, I would argue Tomb Raider looks a little smoother around the edges, you know, but I still prefer it on Saturn, you know, because I like, if we're gonna have to be limited to a D-pad, I'm gonna use the Saturn's D-pad, not the PlayStation 1 D-pad. But yeah, a lot of this stuff, it's just like, you got to look at it in context. Near perfect.
Put a lot of nice looking 3D games on there though. Like,
yeah,
some of them. I think one of the biggest effects I hate is the is, you know, the morphing graphics, like the morphing shapes.
Yes.
And I think while there is some on the Saturn, it's like mitigated, like the way the PlayStation looks.
It really is. There are exceptions though. Case in point, and I mean, we recently streamed some winter sports games, which we're going to be discussing in an upcoming podcast. And whereas Steep Slope Sliders really didn't have that issue, the Zap snowboarding games, which were Japanese exclusives, they really had it. Like, it looked like you're on a rotating drum or something like that, you know. And the snow is just kind of like falling. You know, like somebody mentioned, it looks like it's an avalanche going backwards, and you're like trying to escape the avalanche. Yeah,
Was
so
that on PlayStation as well, or was that Saturn exclusive?
the Zap snowboarding games, I think, was just a Saturn deal. Somebody correct me if
Okay, I
I'm
was
wrong
gonna
in the
say, 'cause-
comments.
I was gonna say because maybe it might just be using stuff that the PlayStation did,
Yeah.
and this is how they're changing it.
But I mean, like the Wangan Dead Heat games and the Shitoku Battle, the Drift King games, those look amazing for early 97, mid 97. That's just about on par with what PlayStation was putting out. And a lot of people, when they think of PlayStation, they've got 98, 99, 2000, 2001, and they've got all these games just kind of like floating around in their subconscious. You really go back to look at like what games were actually impressive for the time. I mean, Gran Turismo didn't come out until late 98, and Saturn was long dead, before then.
Yeah.
And I think Gran Turismo was a absolutely fantastic looking game on PlayStation. Possibly not even doable on the Saturn, give or take. I don't know. There was definitely some stuff being pulled off with the PlayStation's hardware that I would argue just probably couldn't be done on Saturn. But the thing is, vice versa. There are some things that the Saturn can pull that the PlayStation couldn't do just because of certain limitations. So anyway, it's kind of a silly argument at this point because it's all hindsight, it's all retrospect. But I do love these articles. Oh man, here's a game right here. I so want this. Baroque. I so am looking forward to an English translation of this game on the Saturn. It's like a dark horror, game with ghosts and weird demons and stuff like that. And there was a Wii remake, but it's just not the same. It doesn't have the same ambiance as the Saturn game.
I didn't know there was a remake of that on Wii.
There was, yeah. So I mean, you can check it out for context of the story and everything like that, but again, like for the vibe, it feels much changed. I mean, because they changed the entire graphics engine, and along with that went like most of the whole vibe to it. It's really got this dark and kind of scary vibe on the Saturn, whereas I would say that it's kind of toned down on the Wii. And I really love the look and feel of the game, but unfortunately is just really heavy on Japanese text, so I can't get through it personally. And Pepsi Man in Fighting Vipers, yes. There's Pepsi Man in Fighting Vipers. Nick was shouting that.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fighting Vipers is a really fun game. I feel like it kind of gets overshadowed by the Virtua Fighter games, and then Last Bronx, and even Fighters Mega Mix, which does incorporate Fighting Vipers. So I feel like folks tend to leave Fighting Vipers out of the conversation. But I have a copy of it, and it's really fun.
Have you ever played? I'm not really a big fan of Last Bronx, to be honest.
Are you not? Oh, see,
No,
I like it personally. I like weapons fighters, and the Saturn. I'm not a big fan of the Toshinden games, even though they were like hugely popular back in the day. I think
Toshinden wasn't my favorite game as well.
I feel like Last Bronx does it better. But I can understand. Not everybody is really into like the whole weapons fighters thing. But yeah, I will say Last Bronx looks and runs really well on the Saturn though, so it definitely is like a graphics showpiece. Savaki is kind of like a kickboxing UFC type, Japanese UFC, not really UFC, but it's like a kickboxing mixed martial arts game, Japanese exclusive, good stuff. All Japan Pro Wrestling featuring Virtua. That's another solid game, and English
friendly. There's like a 2D and 3D Japan Pro Wrestling games.
Yeah, I know. This one, it says featuring Virtua because I think you can select one or two characters from the Virtua Fighter series. Nice. And I haven't played that game. I haven't played this one much more beyond like firing it up off of an emulator one time. So I really need to give it another look because people keep swearing by how good it is. World Series Baseball 98, of course. It's a good playing game. It does change the formula to 3D instead of 2D, but it's a great game, and most people swear by this one or Greatest 9, the Japanese variant. Got some Bomberman Fight on here. Good stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to go through everything here. Oh, Winter Heat. There we go. So yeah, if you guys are interested in reading Daniel's takes, obviously it's op-ed But I think he makes some good cases here for, you know, why these games are worth a look, and why they do add to the conversation in terms of Saturn's 3D capabilities.
I should really play Super Bomberman Fight. I've been meaning to play that, but I just haven't had the chance to play it.
Bomberman Fight?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Ben and I did like a stream of it, and I really enjoy that game. I really do. I feel like it's, you know, maybe not worth like what it goes for now on eBay, but it's definitely a fun game. Definitely one to absolutely throw on your satiator and try it out.
How much is going on eBay now?
Well, probably like 60, like the $50 or $60 range, and some of that just comes from the fact that it's a Bomberman game and the proximity to like Bomberman. I could actually check, you know, just so I'm not like throwing that out there. Let me see. Bomberman Fight. I got mine, believe it or not. Sega Lord X gave me a copy. He just like sent me a copy.
Yeah, I remember those were pretty cheap. Like when I was first getting more into the library for the imports.
Yeah,
like, it was like maybe a $10 game or something, along
right.
with
okay,
along with Saturn Bomberman and the other one, Bomberman.
Oh hey,
Wars.
You know what? It's not that bad actually. I was completely mistaken. Maybe I was thinking of Bomberman Wars. It's like a $25 game, but then there's shipping from Japan, so add like another $10. But it's actually not as bad as I thought. Definitely one to put on your satiator. No, I mean, it's you know, if you're going through a list of games trying to pick and choose because you're limited on space, I think it's worth it. It's a fun game.
Or
and
just get a 1TB one, put all the games on there.
Exactly. What is Nick saying? Saturn hardware can get generally go deeper than the PS1. But the catch is to use the Saturn to its fullest potential. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the thing is, the Saturn doesn't have so as far as like chip architecture goes, the PlayStation has like that specialized graphics chip, whereas instead the Saturn relies, you know, it has VDP, it has the VDPs. What was that XL2 was saying? It's not that it doesn't have it has a DSP, but it really comes down to like memory utilization, because there's always bus contention since they're always sharing the same bus. So that really ends up being the thing. But
yeah,
most
bus slowdown is the killer of that.
Most programmers that we've talked to, and we've talked to a few, have sworn up and down though that those Hitachis are blazing fast, and that they can pretty much match the speed or exceed the speed of the PlayStation, just by when it comes to like processing power. But yeah. You're always those bus contention issues.